Hi there, this is Dr. Diane Jamieson-Noel, and today I'm coming to you with a tip on communication because remember, everyone's 100% responsible for how and what they communicate. So, what's the context for this little tip for today? So, it comes from the idea that often when we're in communication, you think you're saying something to somebody and they're interpreting it a different way. And sometimes those little communication challenges result in you butting heads with somebody else. So there's one simple question to ask. When a problem arises in your life, communication problem in this instant, what would be one question you can ask yourself about how to make that communication work more effectively? And it comes down to a simple equation. Are you at cause or are you at effect? Now, what does that mean? Hopefully that's left you a little curious. So essentially what that means is when you are 100% responsible for your communication, if you're at cause, you're taking responsibility for what you've said, how you said it, and what the impact of what you said and how you said is impacting the other person. Now, that's not to say what you said is right or wrong. It is what it is. The words came out for a reason. And moving forward, you have to think to yourself, okay, so if I was to engage in this same conversation again, what would I do differently to get to a different result? Sometimes it's thinking about what's the end goal of the conversation. Now let's tie this to business. So when you're in a conversation with somebody about business, what's the end goal? Well, typically you're wanting to make a sale. So the question that you have to ask yourself is, what's my end goal? Okay, I want to make a sale, but what do I need to say and what do I need to do? Or how do I need to be from a physiology perspective? So if you think of how you're standing, the expression on your face, those types of things, we'll get into that a little bit later. I've got another video for you on that. Then what could you do differently to get to that different outcome? So if you're at cause and taking 100% responsibility, you're able to reflect on what you said, how you said, not necessarily overanalyzing it. I know I am often a little too analytical when it comes to these things. It's like, oh, okay, so I said this and I didn't get the sale. Well, I wonder why that is. And sometimes it can be just broaching the conversation in a different way to ask a few questions about what is the person really looking for? What really is their challenge? What do they need help with? And how does the service I provide fit in to that challenge that they're having so that you can get to that different result? So if you're working at cause, then you'd be able to go back to that person and have another conversation. Because remember, you typically don't make the sale on the first attempt. You usually need 3, 5, 7, 10 connections with that individual before you're able to sell what you're looking to sell. So if you're not functioning at cause, you're focusing on effect. And essentially that means that in terms of the interaction that you've had, then you're looking at blaming the person, blaming the circumstances. Essentially, you're trying to put fault, quote unquote, on something else and not take responsibility for what you said or how you've said it. So essentially, if you're at effect, then you're not taking responsibility for your own actions, and you're essentially saying, okay, you're out there and you've done this or you've said that, and that's why we're not getting along. So going back to the idea of, if you go back to being at cause, reflecting back, taking a second step at it and going, okay, if you were to look up and down on the conversation and you saw how what you said compared to how the other person was reacting or responding to what you said, then that can make a big difference in terms of whether you're on par or whether you're butting heads with one another. So I just wanted to tie that to a business context so you can start thinking about, okay, well, it didn't go the way I thought it was, and it's okay. The end outcome was what it was, but there's always opportunities to go back and reconnect with that person, maybe at a different time, a different day, when you've got a better understanding of who they are, what they need, what their challenges are, and how you can be of service to them to provide them with the kind of support that they need as they go forward. So this is a communication tip for today. If you've liked what I've had to say today, remember to subscribe to my channel. There's that little bell there for notifications. If you have any comments or questions about what I've said in this video, feel free to leave a comment. I'd be happy to engage with you. And look forward to my next tip, which is also going to be a communication tip on how we actually communicate. Till then, make it a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.